Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Aquarius. If Aquarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so Aquarius, our card tonight is the Sun, which is always such a welcome energy. Okay, and let's see what these tea leaves are going to tell us tonight. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Also, if you want to like or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Okay. All right. So, immediately I saw that we have a beautiful, oh no, I forgot that I dropped my stick here. I'm gonna have to use my finger. We have a beautiful flower right in here. You can see the top of the flower here, the stem and the leaves. Now below it looks like we have a rabbit right here. We also have a person who is sitting here. You could see the front of her face on this side, kind of sitting. The back is right on this side. Legs moved forward, bent and kind of a leg down. So I can imagine kind of sitting pretty properly in a chair, right? Sitting forward, good posture. Probably a person of, kind of great manners and very aware of their body and how they present themselves. Okay, now below down here we have a figure and it looks like, I immediately thought this is a shaman, okay, and holding some kind of maybe votive or ceremonial object, okay. And so when I saw this, I thought, yeah, this makes sense to me. With the solar energy, that sun energy, we know it is all about illumination. It is about those mysteries coming to light, the veil being lifted. Okay, so I feel like you are going through a period of time here where you are receiving an abundance of messages. Okay, mostly through dreams, I imagine, unless you are somebody who is prone to having visions, which is not everybody, right? To have a vision maybe is something that has to be cultivated. It could also be something that comes naturally to someone, but I think a lot of times we try to reject those visions because it feels like it could be a mental health thing, right? Let's face it. Plenty of times in my life where I've thought, is this a mental health thing happening or is this something else, right? So I feel like probably this is like dreams, synchronicities, symbols kind of coming through, confirmations, which I imagine within this reading, there will be some kind of very specific confirmation for you, okay? I see you really going in to your interior. This is a time where you are focused on that spiritual, psychic realm. I don't necessarily feel like you're going in there to fix anything. And I wonder if this is what makes it different from other times. I believe that so often we get involved in spiritual practices and religious paths, the occult, magic, pop, spirituality, all these kinds of things, right? Because something is going on with us, right? Maybe it's like trauma stuff coming up. Maybe it's a sense of, I don't know what I'm doing in my life. Maybe you just have that thing that's burning inside of you, knowing like there's more to all of this than what I'm seeing right here, right? What I've been told to do with my life, what we all should be doing, right? School, marriage, kids, house, family, whatever, all that stuff, which is beautiful and wonderful stuff, by the way. I'm not putting it down. I'm not putting it down. But yeah, there has to be something more to it all. And so I feel you going into yourself. But this time, it's not about seeking anything necessarily. It's not about, I want to fix myself. I want to heal myself. Which, again, very worthy pursuits. But no, this time, you are going because you want to. Have you ever been really excited just to dream, just to go home? Now, we're all excited to go to bed. If you are, if you're over, maybe like 30 years old, right? We're all excited to go to sleep at night. By the end of the day, it's maybe my most favorite thing, to be all cleaned up, snug in bed, ready to just drift off, and excited to dream. Excited to dream. And I feel like that's kind of like where you're at. You want to see what there is to see. You can feel the potent atmosphere. It is just so thick with harmony, with everything kind of feeling like it's in its right place, and it's meaningful, and it's flowing towards you. And so I feel that you have this spirit guide, really. Maybe it's an elder. Maybe it's somebody, a family member that's transitioned, an ancestor, a guardian angel, a deity, something, right? And so I want to look back up here, and we have the flower. We have the person peering at the flower. Really, I feel like I get this kind of imagery of sitting in the garden, right? Having a little tea. Just kind of taking it all in. Now, the flower, the rose specifically, is the mystery. Now, this one looks like it is opening, okay? So I do feel like this is a time of great awakening for you. This is a time when you're having a lot of those moments of aha, but not just aha, of awe. To stand in awe, looking at the divine. If you've ever seen, there's a movie, it's called The Fountain, right? And I won't go through the plot of it. It's a beautiful film. Go and see it. Go find it. It's an older movie. I mean, it's like 20, 25 years old, probably. But there are scenes of awe in that movie that come to mind when I think of these moments of the ecstatic revelation, of that deep and meaningful connection, the agape, right? And so I feel you almost kind of living a life that it feels blessed. It feels magical. It feels meaningful. You are just wrapped in that mystic. And I'm sure that people tell you when they are around you that you have a very magical energy, aura about you. Now we also have TD. It could even be TCD, but I think it's TD for sure. Those might be initials. Now, and we did talk, the rabbit, I mentioned the rabbit. The rabbit was a symbol of abundance. Okay, so that's where I'm getting the abundance of messaging coming through. Now, we also have, it looks like a love connection here. And we have a bird kind of on the back of the eagle. So I'm wondering, it seems like maybe there's a bit of a love affair happening. Now, this might be that you've been married for many years, right? And now maybe the kids are off to college. The house is your own again. And you're having like kind of a renaissance in your relationship. It might be that this is, you know, kind of a newer relationship. Maybe it's getting more serious. You're moving in together. You're getting engaged, like that kind of thing. It might be that you're out here dating. And God bless you if you are, because that is a rough one. It's not easy. But I think that there's a sense of being hopeful about some kind of connection, right? And I almost feel like with the eagle, because the eagle is an Aries sign, and it really is kind of, it indicates a lot of thinking and reasoning and, well, and even daydreaming and fantasy and this kind of thing. But I almost kind of feel like maybe, you know, in this time in your life, you are getting to a place where you want to try maybe different kinds of relationships. Or, you know, just having like a different setup. Maybe it's like, you know, you want to date, you want to get real serious with somebody, but at this point in your life, you don't really want to live together. You know, you're happy having your own home and them having their own home. And that's what works for you. And other people can look at that and be like, that's super unconventional. How the heck do you even get that to work? But for you, it makes sense. And so maybe this is kind of a time where you are re-envisioning how you would like to have your romantic relationships, or, you know, your marriage, or whatever it is, you know, and that's, I think, I for one am all about people trying different stuff in their relationships, because listen, we got to keep it alive. The relationship is as alive as you or I, right? It's something that is constantly growing and changing and going through its own, you know, ordeals and whatever. And so, you know, we have to kind of treat it as we would anything else. The more time and effort, but also it's not just maintaining the same thing, right? Letting things become, letting things unfurl where they might want to. And maybe sometimes not being so resistant. Now, of course, having our boundaries. We all have our boundaries, right? I know in the world these days, anyways, I read a lot in my mom's groups and stuff. There are things, you know, like people trying things other than monogamy, for instance. And if you have a hard boundary about that, of course, you're not going to, and there's not, that makes sense. You've been monogamous for years, suddenly, you know, somebody wants to open the marriage or whatever, that might be really difficult, especially if you're just not about that life, right? And so I feel like what I'm saying here is, yeah, I can see you being more experimental about things and maybe wanting to try some different things, but not abandoning like your core values or your you know, your solid boundaries, you know. And so, yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. Now, let's take a look. We're going to see over here. Oh, excuse me. I knew my voice was going to do that. I need just a little something to drink. There we go. All right. So we have a person sitting next to the fire. We have a fish. And we just have kind of, it looks like a stream kind of flowing behind. So I feel like here's the fish, here's the stream, here's the person sitting, and here's the fire. So I can feel you really in this place where you are doing the interior work and the elements that you are working through really kind of coming together and unifying in a lot of ways. I feel like this will open up some kind of stream of consciousness that is going to allow you to figure something out to be making some more money. And if that is like an investment thing or a business idea, or finally you're going to go for that job you've always wanted to try to get, or whatever it is, right? I see this being a very successful period of time for you. Okay, so manifest it. Manifest it, manifest it. Now we're going to do our Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and we're just going to kind of see what's this next little period of time going to look like for us, okay? And I'm going to do 3. Sometimes I end up doing 6 just to clarify everything. So we have authority, we have caution, okay, endurance. Okay, definitely gonna go a little further than this. Drama, harmony. We'll do one last one. Speculation. Okay. All right, so this feels like a work thing to me. Yeah, work drama, right? And I feel like this is really, it's very much about somebody who's a busybody, who is, you know, they hear like 1/3 of a conversation, they make assumptions, they're speculating, you know, and you know what? They're a tattletale, okay? I don't know about you, but I grew up in the time of no snitching. And I'm not going to say that I fully support that way, but I do support minding your own business as much as you can, right? It really brings a lot of peace to your life if you, for the most part, can mind your own business. But I think this is a person who just stirs the pot. They are, you know, turning in little things to HR constantly. They're always, you know, trying to be the one that's in charge of things, you know, at work, and like do like the little birthday parties and the culture stuff and, you know, whatever. But this drama, right? I really feel like, you know, you're cautious. You already know what's up. You know what's going on, right? You know how this person is. You try to stay kind of on their good side, but not too close, you know. And so I do feel like there's going to be kind of a situation really kind of coming up here where it really seems like it's going to pop off. Now, I don't think it's necessarily with you, but I do think it is going to cause quite a disruption in the workplace, until, you know, somebody of higher authority really has to like step in, I think, and kind of maybe even mix things up, get people on different shifts, get them in different departments, whatever it is. But I do see, as you endure, right, you have the endurance to get through this. Yeah, this place is going to return to harmony once again. Okay, don't worry about that. It will be fine. But, you know, just keep your eyes and ears open. Do not engage. Do not engage. All right, so we're going to do 3 rolls of the giant die, the 100-sided die, and we're going to see what our 3 lucky numbers are. Okay, so we have 52, 52, 98, 52, 98, 64, 52, 98, 64. My goodness, those are strange numbers. None of those feel lucky. I just am going to tell you that right now. They might be though. Listen, I'm going to use them as my lucky numbers because I am a lunar Aquarius. So this also goes for me, at least the lucky numbers. So what are these cards? Oh yes, the Inner Child Oracle cards. And we're just going to use this to kind of punctuate our reading, to finish it out. And I'm going to flip through and stop where it feels right. And it says 7. Breathe in. Practice breath work today. Practice breath work today. You know what's so funny? I'm so glad I got this card because today, out in the wild, I was talking to this guy that was doing something for my car, and he just he asked, like, you know, what kind of work do you, whatever, you know, small talk stuff. And he was telling me about getting into breath work through guided meditation videos. And I was like, last night I was listening to a guided meditation on body mapping and doing breath work with that, right? And I was like, that's so cool. Because listen, I live in the middle of nowhere. I live very rural. So out here, it's like, I don't talk about anything that I talk about on here out in the real world with most people, right? And when it kind of just comes up, and somebody's on, you know, they know what's going on. It's like, okay. The universe is smiling at me right now. And so this is, for me, is a confirmation. Breath work. Yes. We're going to get on it. I know I need to. When I was pregnant, I was doing hardcore Wim Hof breathing stuff, and it really did help. And it doesn't hurt that I live way up north in the Midwest of the United States, and it gets very cold here. So I was also doing cold exposure, which was nice. But yeah, breath work. Okay, Aquarius, I love you. I thank you for spending this time with me. I know I could ramble for ages. Absolutely. I'm not going to make you listen to that though. If you would be so kind as to like the video, leave a comment. What's the other thing? Or subscribe. I would appreciate it so much. I'd love to hear from you. And it is free to subscribe, by the way. I do have a membership tier on here as well. It lets you get access to the Discord, and it's kind of just like a support membership thing. But you can join that too if you are so inclined. If not, that's cool. All right. I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk real soon. Good night.